This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
It's precisely 1:15. This is the news on Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. News is edited by Catherine Pereira and read by Sabrina Zawahir. First, the headlines. Opportunities will be made for the opposition to have a parliamentary debate regarding the Commission report of Easter Sunday attacks. Cabinet approval has been received to obtain 28 million doses of COVAX vaccine. Bilateral discussions are to be held with the Pakistan Prime Minister. Foreign Minister will address the Geneva summit at 8:30 p.m. local time. The government decides to purchase paddy from the harvest of Maha season. And in world news, Canada's parliament declares China's treatment of Uyghurs genocide. Now the local news in detail. Minister Keheliya Rambukwella says that if the opposition is asking for a parliamentary debate regarding to the reports of Easter Sunday Commission Council, action will be taken according to the parliamentary traditions. The relevant report was submitted to the Cabinet yesterday. It is scheduled to be presented to the Parliament. Participating in the Cabinet Information Media briefing, he said opportunities will be made for any person to investigate it after it has become a common circular. Minister Ramesh Patirana said that mediation of Cabinet ministers or political influence will not be conducted for the institutions which are implementing judiciary regarding the Commission report. Answering to a question raised by a media personnel, he said the government is expecting to provide vaccines to more than 1 billion people of the population. The approval of the Cabinet has been received to purchase 28 billion doses of vaccines under the COVAX facility. Prime Minister of Pakistan, Imran Khan, will visit Sri Lanka today on a 2-day official visit on an invitation of Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa. He will be accorded in a special guard of honour at the Bandaranayake International Airport in Katunayake. Prime Minister Imran Khan will attend bilateral meetings with President Gotabaya Rajapaksa and Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa, while several other high-level engagements are planned, including a business and investment forum, as well as a sports diplomacy initiative. Both Sri Lanka and Pakistan Prime Ministers will together preside over an event to sign several mutual beneficial bilateral Memorandum of Understanding today, following their official talks at Temple Trees. This news is brought to you by Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
HDFC Smart Goals. All it takes is 3 years.
Foreign Minister Dinesh Gunawardena will address the Geneva summit through an online technology at 8:30 p.m. today, Sri Lanka time. The minister today met the Venerable Ale Gunawansa this morning to obtain his blessings. Meanwhile, the minister will meet the Pakistan Foreign Minister Mahmood Shah Qureshi tomorrow morning at the Foreign Ministry. The Cabinet of Ministers has given the approval to purchase paddy from local farmers at competitive rates with the private sector with a view to receive a highest price for the farmers under the rice purchasing program for Maha season of 2020-2021. It was also decided to maintain the price of Nadu at 98 rupees per kilogram in the future without any changes despite paddy being purchased at a higher price. He explained that private rice mill owners purchased paddy from farmers at 52 rupees when the government decided to make the purchase at 50 rupees. Minister Keheliya Rambukwella has emphasized at the Cabinet media briefing held today that the fertilizer subsidy given to the farmers will not be cut off at any means. With that, we conclude the local news. The main news story follows.
Darling, our daughter has top O-level results. Do you know what this means?
Yes, just 3 years and she'll be going abroad for her degree.
For which we'll need a bank loan.
But is a normal loan the smartest option?
What else?
The smartest way is to start an HDFC Smart Goals account.
Let your child begin their degree with no delays. Start an HDFC Smart Goals account. Call 2356 888.
Honey, you're so smart.
HDFC Smart Goals. All it takes is 3 years.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Minister of Environment Mahinda Amaravira says the government has not allowed anyone to cut down forests. An extensive program to arrest those who destroy the environment has been launched on the instructions of the President. Some smugglers have started destroying the forest by misusing the government's instructions to allow innocent farmers to cultivate their lands. There are more politicians behind these acts as well as government officials who support the racketeers. Therefore, the President instructed the security forces to arrest such persons who are destroying the forest and destroying the environment irrespective of their rank. The Minister expressed these views while participating in the official ceremony of the World Scouts Day celebrations held at the premises of the Ministry of Environment yesterday. That was our main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
In Watchlight, residents in Dharaniagala area complains that they are facing many difficulties due to the stray cattle roaming in front of the road of Dharaniagala District Hospital. A correspondent says that the patients who are visiting the hospital and as well as the school children are facing immense hardships. The people request the authority to pay attention on this matter. This is for the attention of the chairman of the Dharaniagala Pradeshya Sabha. That came to you in Watchlight. A bulletin of world news follows.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always.
All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
The headlines of the world news. Canada's parliament declares China's treatment of Uyghurs genocide. US COVID-19 death toll passes 500,000. Western countries step up pressure on Myanmar junta as protests go on. Now the world news in detail. Canada's House of Commons has voted overwhelmingly to declare China's treatment of its Uyghurs minority population a genocide. The motion, which passed 266-0, was supported by all opposition parties and a handful of lawmakers from the governing Liberal Party. Prime Minister Justice Trudeau and most members of his cabinet abstained. The motion makes Canada just the second country after the United States to recognize China's actions as genocide. The number of COVID-19 deaths in the United States has surpassed 500,000. According to the tally by Johns Hopkins University, 500,159 people infected with the coronavirus has died in the U.S. to date. 100,000 more have been reported due to the Thanksgiving, Christmas and New Year holidays triggered spikes in the number of new infections in America. In January, daily new cases exceeded 200,000 and the number of deaths in a day surpassed 4,000. New infections are now on the decline. Various research institutions suggest that tens of thousands of people could die by mid-March. The European Union warned it is considering sanctions on Myanmar, while the United States penalized 2 more generals for links to the military coup, as Western countries sought to press the junta to avoid a violent crackdown after weeks of protests. A general strike shut businesses in the Southeast Asian country on Monday, as huge crowds gathered peacefully despite a warning from authorities that confrontation could get people killed. With that, we conclude the world news, and prior to concluding, the headlines of the world news once again. Canada's parliament declares China's treatment of Uyghurs genocide. US COVID-19 death toll passes 500,000. Western countries step up pressure on Myanmar junta as protests go on. With that, we conclude the world news. The development news follows.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always.
All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
In development news, steps will be taken to monitor the development and development activities of the less privileged areas and rural and school sports infrastructure in the Badulla district. This program is being implemented in the area with the objective of creating an efficient, effective, healthy, disciplined and productive generation for the economic development of the country. Rural and school sports infrastructure development activities have already commenced in the Badulla district. That was development news. Next up is the sports news. Taking a look at the sports news, Dasun Shanaka has been appointed as the Sri Lankan men's team's new T20I captain, replacing Lasith Malinga. Shanaka has previously led the T20 side during the 2019 tour to Pakistan, where Sri Lanka won 3-0. More recently, he has also captained the Dambulla Viking franchise at the Lanka Premier League. He has been handed the captaincy over Thisara Pereira, who has also led the Sri Lankan team before and had also been the captain of the winning LPL franchise. That was the sports news. Next up is the business news.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
Selinco Life has achieved consolidated income of 36.98 billion rupees for the year 2020, demonstrating the company's ability to grow business volumes and investment returns even in the most challenging conditions. This top-line growth of 15.2% was made possible by gross written premium income of 22.7 billion rupees for the 12 months ending, that's 31st December 2020. The growth in life insurance business resulted in Selinco Life retaining its position as the market leader in Sri Lanka's life insurance sector for the 17th consecutive year. That ends Business News.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Economic News. Courtesy of...
Congratulations on your promotion. It will be our treat, huh?
How about today?
Oh no, I was just joking.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
The Oppo mobile phones company are ready to submit several innovations at the Mobile World Congress Shanghai 2021 exhibition, which started today. The company expects to provide several special experiences based on modern technology and consumer. That was Economic News.
Hello, Puta. Did you land already?
We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy.
Calm down, everything is sorted. Why, I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge.
LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
Finally, it's a look at the weather report. The Met Department says several spells of showers will occur in eastern and Uva provinces and in Polonnaruwa, Matale and Nuwara districts. Showers or thunder showers will occur at several places in western and Sabaragamuwa provinces and in Galle, Matara and Kandy districts during the evening or night. Fairly heavy falls above 50 millimeters can be expected at some places in these areas. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in central, Sabaragamuwa, Uva and western provinces and in Galle and Matara districts during the morning. That was the weather report. Prior to concluding this bulletin of news, the headlines once again. Opportunities will be made for the opposition to have a parliamentary debate regarding the Commission report of Easter Sunday attacks. Cabinet approval has been received to obtain 28 million doses of COVAX vaccine. Bilateral discussions are to be held with the Pakistan Prime Minister. Foreign Minister will address the Geneva summit at 8:30 p.m. local time. The government decides to purchase paddy from the harvest of Maha season. With that, we conclude the news, and over to my friend, and certainly yours as well. Niranjan is all geared up to keep you entertained with a wonderful collection of music indeed. Over to you, Niranjan.